All right, stop whatever you're doing and listen carefully. What if everything you've ever believed about death was wrong? Picture this, an ancient, hidden text that lays out exactly what happens the moment you take your final breath. A guide so profound, it doesn't just describe the afterlife, it walks you through it. But here's the catch. Miss even one moment of this journey, and you could risk everything. Stay with me because what you're about to discover might just change the way you see life and death forever. Today, we embark on an exploration of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, also known as the Bardo Thodol, an incredibly profound and mysterious scripture from Tibetan Buddhism. Imagine a guide that walks alongside you during the most transformative and enigmatic moments of existence. That as the essence of the Bardo Thodol, far from being a mere manual on the subject of death, it serves as a spiritual roadmap, guiding consciousness through the transitional phases that follow life's end. Brace yourselves as we journey through its portal of knowledge, uncover its ancient wisdom, and perhaps unlock a deeper understanding of our very existence. The visionary behind the Bardo Thodol. The Bardo Thodol is attributed to Padmasambhava, a legendary and almost mythical figure in Tibetan Buddhism. Born in India, he is celebrated as the visionary who introduced Buddhism to Tibet during the 8th century. Revered in Tibetan tradition as Guru Rinpoche, meaning precious master, Padmasambhava was not merely a monk but a deeply realized spiritual leader. A yogi of immense skill, he mastered mystical practices and esoteric teachings, creating the Bardo Thodol out of a compassionate desire to guide both the living and the departed. This sacred text was designed to provide a pathway to liberation, even beyond the threshold of death. Padmasambhava's journey to Tibet. From an early age, Padmasambhava exhibited extraordinary spiritual abilities and was recognized as a Mahasiddha, a being who has attained the pinnacle of spiritual enlightenment and developed miraculous powers, or siddhis. In a pivotal moment for Tibetan history, King Trizong Detsen invited Padmasambhava to Tibet, seeking his help in spreading Buddhism and fortifying the nation as spiritual foundation. At the time, Tibet was a dynamic mosaic of shamanic rituals and animistic traditions, firmly rooted in the indigenous Bon religion. This rich yet often fragmented spiritual terrain posed significant challenges to the introduction of Buddhism. Integrating Tibetan spiritual traditions. Upon arriving in Tibet, Padmasambhava encountered significant resistance from the entrenched cultural and spiritual traditions of the region. Local Bon deities and spirits actively opposed the spread of Buddhism. However, Padmasambhava, with his mastery of tantric rituals and esoteric practices, skillfully reconciled these forces. Instead of eradicating them, he integrated Bon spirits and rituals into Tibetan Buddhism, creating a harmonious and enduring spiritual framework. He established Tibet's first Buddhist monastery, the semi-monastery, and began imparting profound teachings about the mind, the nature of reality, and the cycle of existence known as samsara. Death as a transformative gateway. In Tibetan Buddhism, death is not seen as an end but as a transitional state, a gateway offering the potential for spiritual liberation. Padmasambhava recognized that, at the moment of death, the mind enters a unique state. Freed from the distractions of the physical body, it becomes more open to perceiving the ultimate truth. However, he also understood that most people, overwhelmed by fear and illusions, struggle to harness this opportunity. Purpose of the Bardo Thodol. His mission was clear: to create a guide that could prepare the mind for these pivotal moments. The result was the Bardo Thodol, a text designed to be recited by those attending the dying or studied during life. This guide helps individuals navigate the bardos, the transitional states experienced after death. At its core lies Padmasambhava's profound compassion and desire to ease suffering, offering a final chance for enlightenment even when all seems uncertain. Recognizing the clear light, Padmasambhava also recognized that enlightenment might elude many in their lifetime. For these individuals, he saw death as a final opportunity. The Bardo Thodol offers detailed instructions to help recognize the clear light, a pure manifestation of the mind, at the moment of passing. The journey through the bardos. The Bardo Thodol delineates three primary bardos, or states, that every soul traverses after death: the Chikhai Bardo, the moment of death; the Chönyid Bardo, the Bardo of visions; the Sidpa Bardo, the Bardo of rebirth. Imagine this profound transition, the Chikhai Bardo, the very moment of death, where the boundaries of the physical world dissolve. The physical body releases its grip on consciousness, and the mind is freed from its earthly limitations. As this dissolution unfolds, the soul is enveloped in the primordial clear light, a radiant, pure, and boundless illumination described vividly in the Bardo Thodol. This light symbolizes the absolute nature of the mind, a state of unconditional awareness beyond duality, fear, or attachment. It is a realm of infinite peace, often referred to as the higher self or the solar mind, though it has countless names across traditions. Liberation in the Chikhai Bardo. This light offers the ultimate opportunity for liberation. If the soul can recognize the clear light as its own essence, it achieves instantaneous enlightenment, transcending the cycle of rebirth entirely. For those who are prepared, this moment represents the culmination of spiritual practice and understanding. However, for many, the light's intensity may provoke fear or confusion, causing the soul to retreat into subsequent bardos, where it faces the echoes of its karma and unresolved emotions. Transitioning to the Chönyid Bardo, this progression leads to the Chönyid Bardo, the Bardo of visions. Here, the soul, now unbound from its physical body, exists in a realm with no tangible boundaries. It confronts vivid projections of its own mind, visions that range from breathtakingly beautiful and angelic to profoundly disturbing and frightening. Reflections of the soul in the Chönyid Bardo. The Chönyid Bardo serves as a mirror to the soul's inner essence, amplifying all that was once hidden, repressed desires, unaddressed fears, and long-held attachments. These aspects emerge with such intensity that they can no longer be ignored. It is in this dimension that the soul has a profound opportunity to understand and transcend the limitations of its mind, gaining insight into the true nature of reality and the self. Peaceful and wrathful visions in the Chönyid Bardo. The visions encountered in the Chönyid Bardo are vivid reflections of the emotional and karmic states accumulated over lifetimes. These manifestations fall into two distinct categories. Peaceful visions. These feature benevolent figures such as Buddhists, bodhisattvas, or radiant deities of light, embodying the positive qualities cultivated by the soul. These beings exude serenity and wisdom, offering the soul a profound sense of peace and harmony. However, for a mind unprepared to understand their essence, these visions can feel overwhelming or perplexing, leading the soul to retreat, doubting the reality of the experience. Wrathful visions. If the soul fails to recognize the true nature of the peaceful visions, it moves into encounters with wrathful deities. These entities are not external forces, but projections of the soul-s unresolved. The Chönyid Bardo exists as a state where the mind operates free from the limitations of the physical body. It is a realm of amplified psychic manifestation, where the internal energies of the mind emerge without filters. Unlike ordinary dreams, these visions carry a vivid clarity and intensity. Everything repressed within the psyche surfaces with a nearly tangible force. Opportunities for learning and enlightenment. This state is not punitive but provides an opportunity for learning and enlightenment. Each vision, whether peaceful or wrathful, represents an aspect of the self that requires either integration or transcendence. These experiences challenge the soul to embrace its totality and gain deeper insight into its true nature. The path to liberation in the Chönyid Bardo. For those who remain steadfast in their awareness during the Chönyid Bardo, a profound realization becomes possible. All these visions, both serene and terrifying, are creations of the mind. Recognizing this truth dissolves fear and clears the path to liberation. The Bardo Thodol instructs the soul to focus on the clear light, the primordial essence of the mind, described as an immense and pure radiance. This clear light, constant amidst the ever-changing projections, represents the inherent nature of all beings. By discerning the illusions of the visions and focusing on this radiance, the soul achieves enlightenment and escapes the cycle of rebirth, finding liberation in the ultimate truth of existence. Recognizing the clear light of the Chönyid Bardo is no small feat. For most, the visions appear intensely real and deeply personal, making it difficult to see them for what they are: projections of the mind. The Bardo Thodol emphasizes the importance of spiritual preparation during life. By practicing detachment from illusions and contemplating the mind's nature, practitioners build the focus and resilience necessary to maintain awareness of the clear light, even amidst the turmoil of the Bardo. Challenges: fear and attachment. The two most significant barriers to liberation in this stage are fear and attachment. Fear, the wrathful deities, representing untamed and suppressed aspects of the psyche, often evoke overwhelming fear. This fear creates a sense of separation, preventing the soul from seeing the visions as reflections of itself. Attachment, similarly, the peaceful visions, while serene, can trigger attachment, leading the soul to fixate on them rather than transcending the illusions. Embracing shunyata emptiness. The key lies in recognizing the concept of shunyata emptiness. This central teaching of Tibetan Buddhism helps the soul see these visions as temporary expressions of its mind's nature, lacking any inherent reality. A mind attuned to emptiness can observe these intense visions without becoming entangled in them. In this way, the Chönyid Bardo is not a punishment. The Sidpa Bardo, or the Bardo of rebirth, marks the soul's final stage in this journey. Here, the soul faces a critical moment: the choice of its next body. This decision, however, is not made consciously, but is dictated by the karmic imprints accumulated through actions, thoughts, and intentions over lifetimes. These imprints act as magnetic forces, pulling the soul toward circumstances that reflect its inner state. The mechanics of rebirth in the Sidpa Bardo. Having passed through the previous Bardos, the soul now encounters a heightened state of psychic density. Here, the desire for rebirth intensifies, fueled by unresolved fears and attachments. Tibetan Buddhism teaches that this desire compels the soul to seek a new existence, binding it to the cycle of samsara. In the Sidpa Bardo, the soul's karma takes center stage, shaping its future. For example, a soul burdened with fear might be drawn toward a rebirth where similar challenges arise, while one driven by unfulfilled desires might find itself in situations amplifying those cravings. These karmic inclinations are mirrored in the visions the soul experiences during this stage. These often include images of couples in union, symbolic of the creation of new life. Detachment and clarity in the Sidpa Bardo. The Bardo Thodol advises the soul to maintain detachment and clarity during these visions. Without mindfulness, the soul risks being unconsciously swept into an undesirable rebirth, driven by unresolved emotions and attachments. However, those who can sustain calmness and lucidity may avoid this fate, opting instead for liberation. Liberation or return. For the spiritually prepared, the Sidpa Bardo offers a final opportunity to break free from samsara. Recognizing the visions as projections of the mind, they see through the illusion, understanding their temporary and empty nature. This realization allows them to transcend the pull of rebirth entirely, achieving enlightenment. For many, however, the magnetic pull of karma is too strong. They find themselves drawn into new cycles of existence, continuing the journey of learning and growth. Tibetan Buddhism views this not as failure, but as part of the soul's evolving path. Each life provides fresh opportunities to deepen understanding and cultivate awareness, bringing the soul closer to ultimate liberation. Profound lessons of the Bardos. In the teachings of the Bardo Thodol, these Bardos serve as profound guides not only for the dying but for the living. They remind us that the mind's state during life profoundly influences the journey after death. By practicing detachment, mindfulness, and compassion, one can prepare for the Bardos and navigate these transitions with clarity and peace. Reflecting on the Bardo Thodol, the Bardo Thodol transcends religious doctrine. It asks a spiritual guide, a mirror reflecting the mind's essence, and a map to navigate our ultimate journey. It teaches us that death is not the final chapter, but a gateway to transformation. As Ram Dass once beautifully stated, when you die, there is only one question that matters: how much did you love? This sentiment encapsulates the wisdom of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, urging us to reflect on how we live. Are we prepared for life's final journey? Can we let go of all we think we are and embrace the unknown? By exploring these teachings, we prepare for death and learn what it means to truly live. If these reflections resonate with you, share this exploration with others and subscribe to the channel. In the comments, tell us what most fascinates you about the mysteries of life and death. Together, we can continue this path of self-discovery, unveiling the truths of existence. Thank you for watching.